Alright, so I figured I'd talk about this, even though I kind of dropped off the show, but everyone said, no, it got better after a few episodes. It still has its problems, but it's pretty good. The last time I talked about Supergirl was the Flash-Supergirl crossover, which I thought was pretty fun. Although, looking back on it, it does have its problems, but I still think it's pretty enjoyable. Now, the big thing with it is that, yes, apparently there was talk of it getting a second season. Apparently CBS did try to renew it, but now there's talk of CBS apparently bowing out of doing a second season because the first season was so expensive, and Warner Brothers is now considering moving it to the CW to be less expensive because, yeah, CBS ain't paying for it no more. Apparently it doesn't want to pay for it anymore. So what do I think of this? The big thing is that look, I tried to watch Supergirl. I wasn't into the whole, mousy kind of Supergirl, because the Kara I know was very, she was very strong-willed, and I understand they're trying to make her they're trying to do Superman stories without using Superman. They're just trying to use Supergirl. But the problem is that I feel like they're trying to do that too much, and also they fell into a lot of traps the CW comic book shows also run into. But on the other hand, I think it's cool that, if the CW does decide to move Supergirl to, if Warner Brothers decides to move it to the CW, I think that'd be a cool idea on the grounds of then we could have, an entire, that big DCCW universe even bigger, rather than, some shows are on here. I would prefer, Gotham no longer around. I don't really care. If you watch Gotham, that's totally fine and like it. That's totally fine. I watched 3 episodes and I was like, I was done. I'm also kind of just done with what they did. I also heard about what they did with Joker and what they did with Sarah Gordon, which I was like, okay, she was pretty terrible in those first 3 episodes I watched, and she was one of the main reasons why I stopped watching. But the big thing, and then later on when I found out, they decided to make her a villain and make her into like a pseudo version of the Joker / Harley Quinn, to which I responded with, yeah, rather than try to do something like, I don't know, try to make her a better character through writing, let's just make her a crazy-ass villain. Because that works. Also, I just did not care how they were trying to make all the villains before Batman. Did not fucking get it. Anyway, that's a rant for another time. Again, if you like Gotham, that's totally fine. That's no ill will against you. But yeah, getting back to this, the DCCW universe in and of itself is kind of meh right now. I've pretty much thrown in the towel on, after Laurel's death on Arrow. Flash was going good, and then I feel like every episode after Zoom's reveal, has just been meh, because it's just Barry making dumbass decisions. And Legends of Tomorrow is just meh to me. Like, I don't really care. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's great either. And it's not because, you're just saying that because Daredevil and Jessica Jones are, you're a Marvel fanboy. No, I'm not. I want these shows to succeed, because I love superhero TV shows. And Arrow was pretty fucking awesome. I mean, yeah, Season 1 was a little rocky, but Season 2, none of you can deny the awesomeness that was the second season. Where did that go? But yeah, so if it does move to, CW, that means the budget's going to be a lot less. But on the other hand, I think it'd be cool to have one big, making the DCCW universe a bit, one big house. The big question is, how are you going to do that? Are they just going to say, if they decide to get a second season and put it on the CW, are they just going to say Infinity Crisis, or are they just going to pretend like the Flash Supergirl crossover never happened and she's always been part of this universe? I really don't know how you could do that unless they just decide to reboot the show and put it on DCCW and have her, and have Kara for 10 whole seasons not put on the costume and just tease at it until eventually dun 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 dun. Wow. I really still hate Smallville. That has just occurred to me that I still really fucking hate Smallville. Excuse me. Anyway, so I'm not against this. That's the thing I'm trying to get across, is that I'm not against this idea of having Supergirl on the TV show, but it's been kind of weird lately. Have you just guys kind of noticed that DC and Warner Brothers itself has been kind of imploding? First it was kind of with the reboot, with the whole reboot of the DC Comics from the New 52 to this new rebirth stuff. And then after what happened with the debacle of Batman v Superman, it feels like the whole thing's imploding, doesn't it? It just feels like Lord and Miller kind of ditched early. I understand that they didn't ditch after the numbers for Flash. They just kind of went, yeah, we don't want to be part of this project anymore. Peace. So that's kind of how it was. And also now James Wan is talking about there's rumors of James Wan bowing out. So yeah, it just feels like everything's kind of imploding, really. It just feels like Warner Brothers just does not know what to do right now, and this is kind of now I don't know who to point the finger here, whether CBS doesn't want to shell out the money, or Warner Brothers just wants to make ends meet and cut their losses and put it either cancel it or put it on the CW for to have more ratings. Because despite our rants and ravings of how the DCCW universe has kind of become meh on a whole, it does get numbers. It does still get numbers. So I can understand why Warner Brothers would want to have another DC show on there. And yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to a TV universe. I mean, Marvel's kind of doing that. Marvel's kind of doing that with the Marvel shows as well, and connecting with their movies. And I think it would be cool to have a DC movie universe and a DC TV universe. I think that would be a lot of fun. However, DC, real quick, could just stop killing off characters. Like, the only reason you killed off Waller in Season 4 was on the sole ground of, oh yeah, there's an Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad. Bye, bitch. Blam! That's kind of the sole fucking reason right there. Although, don't get me wrong, it was cool. I always loved it, I've always loved it when, whenever we get to see Waller die in some form. So I was kind of like, yeah, I'll give you that, Arrow. I love that. I love when Waller gets her, when that bitch gets her comeuppance. So I was kind of cool with it. But at the same time, I was like, I know the real reason why you did this. It's the same reason why you killed off Deadshot. Even though, yeah, the DC and movie, the DC TV universe and the movie universe are two totally different things. And supposed to be. So yeah. Also, this does kind of lead into the whole so much for an Infinity Crisis TV event, because apparently that was the whole reason behind the one of the big reasons behind the Flash Supergirl crossover was to kind of test the waters to see if they could do this again, because they knew how many DC shows were spread out. So they kind of thought of there was talk that maybe they would do an Infinity, some kind of loose adaptation of Infinity Crisis, which I'd have been cool with, because they did. I think that'd be a cool idea. Although I don't know how I would feel about giant CGI Anti-Monitor. Honestly, I don't know how I would feel about that on a whole. That would be something strange. Anyway, so with this, I don't know, like, in one hand, I'm just kind of meh. The other hand, I'm like, just do it or don't. That's kind of the mantra I'm kind of going with right now. I want to go back and watch Supergirl, just to rewatch it, and maybe I'll do a review of the first season, depending on if I can watch all the episodes. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Could, either it could be canceled and not move, or it could be moved to the CW to be joined with, get that lovely ring of writing, of meh writing from from the rest of the CW staff. Oh, wonderful. Anyway, so you guys tell me, what do you think is going to be the fate of Supergirl? Do you guys want it to see continued on CBS? Do you think it should be moved to CW? And if so, how do you think they should do that? Should it be a reboot? Or should they do some kind of cool event to say, oh, now you're part of the CW universe. Your whole universe, just part of our universe now. How wonderful. Who knows? Maybe Flash Season 3 will be Flashpoint, and that's how they get all the universes together. Wouldn't that be something? Zilla says to no one. Oh, man. But yeah, once again, curious to know what you guys have to say about this. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.